With the release of Edward Said's Orientalism in 1978, the predominant discourse on global development issues underwent a significant shift. Previously centered on economic considerations and exploitation in the Marxist sense, the focus transitioned to the ideological conditions shaping the production of knowledge. Drawing on literary theory and Foucault's archaeology of knowledge, Said contended that the Orient had been systematically misrepresented by European Orientalists, particularly those from France and England. He analyzed this hegemony as a severe form of mental colonization. The impact of Said's influential, albeit now dated, work cannot be overstated. Over the past decade, there has been an abundance of critical post-colonial literature inspired by Said, Derrida, and Foucault. Like Said, these works scrutinize mis-right representations and propose alternative perspectives on East-West and North-South relations. In response, there has been a continuous stream of both critical and apologetic statements, either defending colonial accounts of the other, or cautioning against the relativism and potential nihilism inherent in Said's perspective on knowledge and history. Some critics argue that anti-Orientalists have themselves succumbed to a form of blatant Occidentalism, presenting simplistic and disparaging accounts of Western scholarship. Bryan S. Turner's recent essay collection breaks away from this pattern. Turner engages with ongoing debates on Orientalism and post-right modernity in a variety of ways, providing a critical yet not hostile perspective on the post-colonial intellectual landscape. He expresses sympathy for the post-colonial project of deconstructing Orientalism, but perceives its anti-essentialist or anti-foundationalist epistemology as an impediment to grasping the real Orient. Within the vaguely deconstructivist ambience of these discussions, every phenomenon is seen as a discourse, and its connection to reality is deemed tenuous. In the latter part of the book, Turner extends the discussion of epistemological challenges related to representation, interpretation, and reliability to non-Islamic, Western societies. The book is organized into 5 parts, each addressing different aspects of the Orientalism critique and related issues. In the first part, which centers on religion with a particular focus on Islam, Turner challenges the perspective, advocated by scholars like Ernest Jellner, that beliefs are adopted based on logical consistency. Instead, he argues that people embrace beliefs because they help them navigate the challenges of everyday life. Turner also contests the notion of a lack of civil society in Asian states, asserting that this perception is more connected to the domestic discourse on monarchy and democracy since the 17th century than to Asia itself. This section delves into the Orientalism critique, highlighting its potential pitfalls, such as replacing one hegemonic discourse with another, and grappling with the challenges of cultural translation. The second part of the book offers an even-handed assessment of the accomplishments of 2 prominent Orientalists, Marshall Hodgson and Gustav von Grunenbaum. Turner, in critiquing these scholars, underscores his view that religion is primarily intertwined with everyday practices, rather than lofty belief systems. The third part, titled Globalism, explores issues related to globalization and relativism, with a specific focus on revitalistic and politicized Islam. Contrasting individualism with Islamism, or fundamentalism, Turner provides a nuanced perspective on Islam's fate in the postmodern age. Here, he argues for a sophisticated understanding of Islam, rejecting attempts by both Orientalists and anti-Orientalists to depict the true nature of Islam in simplistic terms. Turner emphasizes the need for nuanced interpretations given the complex reality of Islam's responses to postmodernity, an era when grand narratives are no longer considered credible. In the fourth part of the book, Turner directs his attention to a direct confrontation with the relationship between postmodernity, Enlightenment ideas, and the role of intellectuals. He critiques elitist perspectives on mass culture, highlighting a strong implicit nostalgia in critical theory, particularly in the works of thinkers like Marcuse. Arguing alongside Nietzsche, Turner asserts that the world should not be bifurcated into a world of superior intellectual values and inferior everyday values. The analysis becomes particularly intriguing when discussing Pierre Bourdieu's distinction and the author's steadfast belief in the existence of hegemonic discourses. Turner, throughout, demonstrates a profound sensitivity to the multiple strategies employed by agents in the contemporary pluralistic, or some would say postmodern, context where overarching symbolic hierarchies are lacking. The subsequent essay on cosmopolitanism and nationalism in sociology serves as a splendid illustration of the problems tackled throughout the volume: issues of generalization, comparison, translation, and ultimately, the challenge of relativism. These concerns are addressed more concretely in the essay on the relationship of English intellectuals to the wider world. The fifth and final part of the book offers enlightening essays on the moral and political predicaments of the contemporary age. Topics include the transition from order to risk, as discussed by Beck, ontological insecurity, Giddens, ambivalence, Bauman, and the reflexive construction of the self. While not entirely persuaded by arguments positing this era as one of radicalized modernity, particularly in terms of periodization, Turner accepts the central tenets of such theories of high or late modernity. He connects these ideas to his analysis of Islam in the conclusion of the book.